Hello and welcome to this Level 6 Energetic System Series video. My name is Allie with A. Marie Speaks, and as titled, this is a video of Level 6. We are going to talk about the spirit a bit here throughout Level 6. I hope, if you're new, welcome, but that you will start down at Level 1 and take time to watch the other videos, because the things that we're getting into here now are kind of going to be a bit of a next step, next level conversations and topics. And without the background knowledge, it's going to be minimal offerings at best. Take what you might if you'd like to. You're free to listen, of course, and gain what you will. But know that for a deeper quality and a better understanding, really time and energy much better spent down at those foundational levels 1 and 2, working with the Toreadle, understanding your Taurus as an energy tool, and learning what kind of systems you're running within yourself so that you can do better work for yourself. And also, most importantly, find the corrections best suited to you so that you can really get what you want and what you're expecting out of your life, instead of a lot of the delusions and distortions that we're seeing in the world today. Without getting caught up into all of that, I really want to keep this video short, and fingers crossed I'm going to, because I do have limited time today. I want to jump right into what I have yet to tie into the spirit system and layer and talk about within the spirit boss. We focused a lot on already the body's boss and on the mind's boss and the interactions. We talked a lot about the external Toreadle and what kind of service we do in the external world. And we started off talking, of course, about the internal, inner vortex, those inner systems, and what type of service we do and why. Finally, what we've last kind of brought into the picture is the balancing act that happens, the communication exchanges that become available and aware when we're actually watching these two different sort of external happenings and internal happenings. Excuse me. Of course, I forgot my water. That's okay. For this video, I would like to bring in and touch on the intersecting and sort of tying up together all the two that we've talked about, external and internal, as well as what I brought in lastly, which is reality, and the sort of ever-changing, bigger, deeper, more complex understanding about the reality of reality, right? The multidimensionality of it, the 3 layers that we've looked at and learned about through the Taurus as a tool, we know as a reflection, and we can use it to run parallel understandings to the world around us. All others, as in other humans, but all other life, as well as the bigger picture and the Earth as a whole, the organic earth as a whole, and as well like the universe and where we fit in, and bigger, longer view things. Those things come in with the spirit, of course, and they also all tie into everything else, which is why I wanted to bring it last, and why I wanted to introduce sort of all of the foundational, more of like the moving mechanisms of both of those other systems. They're more dynamic and tangible, I feel, before we talk about these more difficult, intangible, ever-changing, kind of infinite, eternal thing that is required when we talk about the spirit and the spirit boss and the flow and the figure 8 and what is infinite and eternal. And within that infinite eternity, within this ever possible potentiality of all things, let's also say, how do things fit into that? What are the variabilities, the definite and finite pieces within the whole making, right? How do they integrate together? How do they complement and contrast each other, right? So I hope you sense the large amount of work that it is to be had and understood when we really work to incorporate the three levels, mind, body, and spirit, or internal, external, and flow between them. Now, for this specific video, what I really would like to just get into will be about tapping into this and understanding it just a little bit more. So again, I'm kind of just going to go on, and this is, like I said, a little bit more of an advanced level. So speaking with my audience who's been here and who have kind of watched and worked through all of these things, I appreciate you all so much, and I am learning so much from this that I really want to take this into a deeper conversation. Level 6 will probably be my last sort of segment of this energetic system series for now. This will be sort of the final of the course, kind of. This is the, the 9 of it. So I want to sort of wrap up with a bow here the ultimate package, and then at another time after the course books are completed and I have sort of refined all the basics, I will be diving deeper into it and hoping to, along the path of teaching and sharing with others and sharing through the workbook, find more details and definition to create better videos afterwards. But for now, I just would like to sort of acknowledge and present this level 6 here as the culmination of the workings that I will offer, kind of hoping to just segment and seal the boundary, like, of talking about the Taurus as a tool and as the different usages and flows that are available between positive and negative workings, because there's so much to just learn about that, and there's so much work in that energetic alchemy that I want to take some time to ruminate on and pick through it before I start going on as well. But so this will sort of be my final level, end of the year, wrap it up, which I think is perfect for the spirit level, because it really, all three, of course, as I've talked about and I've shown through many infographics with the Venn diagram, they're a blending and a merging of all of them. And each specific body has its own reflections of the three within it, right? That's why I love to have the boss with the 3 managers underneath it. And that manager each becomes a boss of 3 underneath it. And to work and understand that as a dynamic flow. And instead of allowing it to create this hierarchy of directionality of communication where it's forced, where it's top down, and you see it diving down with less and less value, with less and less responsibility, with less and less worth to the whole, as is sort of focused on in a negative corporate hierarchy or in any of the more kind of roles that we see out there in a dogma, religious or business settings out there, sort of even in academia world. Instead of seeing that as a leveling down with each worker as less valuable, less intelligent, less informed than the manager above it, instead allowing it to be, a horizontal view where we're all in the same playing field, where we all have valuable information to offer to the whole. It's just as valuable, although they are very different, and although they are at different levels of education, different levels of wisdom, different levels of incorporation and consciousness. Conscious awareness is what I really like to kind of sum up all of that as. And that has to do a lot with, different densities, different consciousness levels, different realities that you can inhabit. And I really hope to open up the doors to people to investigate and explore that within themselves when we talked about all of those systems within, to really getting in there and having conversations, because there are worlds in there and they do open up for you. I have felt that and seen the miraculous work of it in my life, and I am speaking with others and my friends and just through communication through viewers and things, that people are seeing and feeling differences and liking the individual work they find inside themselves, when you take the time to sort of be creative in that way, be childlike, create an imagination space, these beings, and give them validity within yourself, and allow them to be, and to be amused by them, and to communicate with them, and to become more conscious of them, because that allows you to become more conscious of you, who you are, and who your spirit is. And this is all has to do with incorporating that spirit exchange. The change and the switching back and forth is literally what the spirit level is all about, and the spirit boss. It is the observer, witness, and recorder of what the external system's doing, what your internal systems are all doing. It is that ever-present energetic happenings that creates and holds space and makes space for change, for movement and exchange, transactions. There's a great value in learning to unlock that conscious awareness of this level, and to incorporate it into all of your life, into your communications, into your menial tasks and daily things, into your job and in home life, into, every breath and every moment. And when you're not kind of taken up by things that are requirements of you, or whatever you're doing, when you have your alone time, when you're bored or have nothing to do, there's no reason to ever be bored or have nothing to do, because there's a plethora of communication and work and alchemy happening always within you as the observer, you as your creator of your world, that you can just turn your lens inwards and find out and observe and look and feel, or just rest, or just appreciate and just listen and watch. And there's so much wisdom and knowledge to be ascertained and gained and integrated when you give yourself that time and practice, and actually do that small commitment here and there for yourself. Even if it's 30 seconds, 35 seconds, here and there throughout the day. You don't have to sit down at a whole hour-long sort of thing, or unless that's for you. I find wonderful release and great workings in practices, traditional meditation, but I also am finding and also love working through living meditation, making my whole life, my whole embodiment alive with meditation, with mindfulness and conscious awareness. More connected communication, to where these spaces become a space of communion, co-creation, where we're really honoring and respecting the sovereignty and valuable essence of life that's there, that's alive, that you're communicating with. That is really what I have learned most in understanding about my spirit boss, and in working with my spirit boss. The other thing that I really wanted to kind of incorporate is that there's great internal workings to be found with the spirit, and it's crucial that we begin within. But the external spirit as well is something that has a wonderful world of working and offerings as well. And when you open yourself up to that, it becomes, sorry, my hair is like super frizzy lately, and it's like getting stuck on my face, my eyelashes. When you open yourself up and understand that not only is the internal spirit boss, like monitoring and a part of the internal workings, and all the external that comes into the internal, right? There's also the entire external workings out there, and that has valued space for, and a layer of spirituality there, and your spirit boss has a presence out there. But it's a little bit more subtle, and it's different than what we're used to internally. Just like when you communicate with another, or you go out in the world into nature or animals or any sort of other, there's a difference to the communication. There's an unknown presence to it. There's mystery and newness and opportunity, potentiality out there sort of sitting, just waiting as X, Y, and Z could happen, right? Multiple sort of timelines. And when we talk about this external spiritual self and body and communication, there's a lot of these subtle different layers out there that seemingly have no conscious processing happening You know, you don't control it, and you don't have the capability to alter or change it. There's no dominion of power out there, a range of influence that you have. I've done a couple of memes of different things about dominion and influence, and where you have a scope of influence, and how it, just like distance, as you see, the further you see away, the less clear you see and the more blurry it becomes. Well, our level of influence, or your level for impact in that, is the same. And it's not exactly run parallel. I'm not saying they're measurably the same, but the metaphor is the same. And if you can accept and understand that, well, you really must, but you should, and you can, and if you can, once you do, you will see and understand that there's different communication out there. And when you can step into and have this sort of awareness and respect of the sovereign communion that happens with other out there in the spirit, you'll receive beautiful messages. You'll learn your own languages. You'll learn new languages. You'll discover and uncover all these happenings that you were sort of had blinders on to before. And it's natural. Our body vessels do these things naturally, and unfortunately it's been not naturally infringed upon and manipulated through the negative agendas for so long too, that there's a nature versus nurture breaking out of mind control that becomes, you know, this is offering freedom to yourself, really, is what it is. Setting the soul free. And that's the most difficult of all the levels, and especially why I'll offer this lastly, because a fraction of us will make it to understanding these right now, to the depth that it could be real working, you know, and then, which is also another side of the coin, why I introduce the body vessel first, and we talk about internal things, and we work through shadow first, because that inside is where we have full dominion. And we have all range of influence and impact. Literally, we are the creator, the God source of the universe within ourselves. You know, the universe of you. You have full range of dominion to change every and anything within yourself at any time and every time. Every second is a new beginning for you and your spirit and all layers and bosses to activate, to do better work, to make a change, to clean the trash up, to get rid of the things that have piled, the things in the corners that you know are there, that you have hindered on or bothersome, or you don't want to get down to it at that time. It's time to roll the sleeves up and do it. And when you do those things, and when you do run the fresh air through, and when you open some windows, yeah, a gust is going to come in. You couldn't determine when the wind will blow, but it will, and it will uncover something over there you lost for so long. Or it will make a change that you said, oh, wow, I didn't see that, but this is much more free and open in this lighting. Or the sun will set, and you'll say, oh, this room's beautiful at sunset. This is why I will sit here every day in my sunset and enjoy and appreciate my life in just this room, because the sun comes through in a beautiful way. You never know these kinds of things, and you could never plan them because they're of other. And when you respect that space and honor it, you'll notice it more. And your life will become alive more. You do better service and work for yourself. This is what the spirit level layer will be all about. I'm going to dive more into it with better infographics and more details about how and what kind of communication and communion spaces open, and how by listening and allowing space for the opportunities and just being more conscious of the spirit layer and meaning and synchronicities, personal impacts, and opening your heart up to the world. Your spirit will do better work in the external service, your external torrido. All your workings will become more smoother, because the internal will really be able to flourish and bloom. And when your internal inner vortex is, spirit becomes really alive, it flows effortlessly, and so does your external, because you're ready to go out there and do whatever. You know, you're fueled up in a good alignment that's just offering momentum. So we'll be talking a bit more about this to come here in this level 6 in my videos in the weeks to come. It is second week of May here, 2024, just for anybody who's watching real time or in the near future. I have said this in a couple of videos. Things might be a little sporadic because it's kind of busy in my home regular life. Busy in a wonderful way, you know, but I also need to respect the things that I like to do and honor those, although I have a lot of ideas for videos and things. So working to balance that, I might be posting a little bit more sporadically. But in the time to come, I will be covering more. We'll be diving a little bit more deeply in with some visuals to help people really work out what the variables are and what they could be to do better work. But in the meantime, definitely, if you've missed any of the layers or levels, go back and revamp up, or look for the infinite, never-ending ways in your ever-present moments to integrate more spirituality and listen to that spirit boss. Hear what it has to say. Or any of your bosses, right? All time internally is well spent. So thank you so much for joining me here for this video. Like I said, you can find more videos on YouTube always of mine. You can find me on my website, amariespeaks.com, where not only is there personal information and stuff about readings and all that jazz, but also, my writing, that's what I was going to say, like writing and books and things. There's also a plethora of free third-party references and resources on my tools page. If you're interested in anything like metaphysical, esoteric, there's a ton of videos and clips that you could find new resource, or maybe old things that you saw a while ago that you'll say, oh wow, somebody else enjoys this too, you know. Love to hear anything and everything, comments, likes, dislikes. Send me emails, comments, always welcome. Thank you so much for your time, for your beautiful contribution to our collective. Thank you as always for your audience and witnessing mine, and I'll catch you next time.